Hey everyone, welcome back to the Fluent Few. I'm Jake.
And I'm Nina. Today's episode is all about those sneaky English hacks no one tells you. Not the boring textbook stuff. Think street smart shortcuts and insider tricks.
That's right. We're spilling the tea on the hacks even your English teacher probably doesn't know. If you're learning English, you'll want to take notes or at least stick around for the laughs.
So, Jake, let's jump in. What's the first English hack you wish someone had told you sooner?
Okay, here's one that blew my mind. You don't have to know every single word. Native speakers use a surprisingly small core vocabulary. About 1,000 to 3,000 words cover most daily conversations. Learn those, and you're already ahead of the game.
Wait, so I don't need to memorize all 170,000 words in the dictionary to sound fluent? I can just chill with 1,000?
Absolutely. Think of it like having a Swiss Army knife. You just need the right tools, not the whole hardware store. Mastering those core words like get, take, make, thing lets you communicate 90% of what you want.
Love it. So, listeners, if you're stressing over concatenate or anti-disestablishmentarianism, relax. Stick to the basics. All right, Jake, what's another hack that's not in the textbooks?
This one's fun. Native speakers rarely speak in full sentences. Instead, they chunk their language using set phrases like, you know what I mean? Or at the end of the day. These chunks help you sound fluent even if your grammar isn't perfect.
Ooh, chunks sound like something you'd find in a soup. Can you give us some examples? Like, if I'm at a party and want to sound supernatural, what should I say?
Totally. Instead of, I do not agree with your opinion, just say, I'm not so sure about that. Or swap, that is a very good idea, for sounds good to me. These phrases roll off the tongue and make you sound way more natural.
That's gold. So, listeners, start collecting your favorite chunks. Maybe even keep a chunk jar. Every time you hear one, write it down. Jake, what about pronunciation hacks? English spelling is, well, let's say, creative.
Creative is putting it nicely. Here's the hack. Don't trust spelling. Focus on listening and mimicking. For example, though, through, and tough look similar but sound totally different. So use apps like Youglish or Forvo to hear real people say words.
So you're saying my off confusion is valid? English is trolling us.
It really is. Even native kids complain. Just think of off as the wild card of English. My advice, whenever you see a weird word, look it up and listen, don't just guess.
Okay, that makes me feel better. Now, let's talk about shortcuts with grammar. Is there a way to sound smart without mastering every tense?
Oh, definitely. Most of the time, you can get by with just the present simple and past simple. Native speakers use will and going to instead of fancy future tenses. And for questions, you can often just use a rising intonation like, you're coming? Instead of, are you coming?
That's genius. So I can ditch, shall I be going, and just say, I go? With a raised eyebrow?
Exactly. You'll sound way more like a local. Plus, people will understand you just fine. English is all about efficiency, unless you're writing a formal letter to the Queen.
Noted. And for all the perfectionists out there, relax. Sometimes good enough is really all you need.
For sure. Here's another hack. Use fillers to buy time. Words like, well, actually, so, or even, help you think and sound more natural.
I use actually so much my friends call me actually Nina. But seriously, how do fillers help?
They give you a moment to think, and they make your speech sound less robotic. Picture a native speaker. Well, I think we should. Maybe go? It's totally normal.
I love it. So if you're nervous, just drop a so and no one will blink. Okay, Jake, what about small talk? Any hacks for surviving awkward conversations?
Oh, small talk is an art. Here's the hack. Ask open-ended questions and mirror back what people say. For example, if someone says, "I love hiking," you can say, "Hiking, huh? Where's your favorite place to go?" It keeps the convo rolling.
That's clever. So, listeners, next time you're stuck with a chatty neighbor, just ask about their favorite anything. People love to talk about themselves.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to use the weather. In English-speaking countries, "nice weather today, right?" is a classic opener.
So true. We could talk about the weather for hours and no one would judge. All right, let's take a quick breather for a question from our listener mailbag.
This one's from Yasmin in Cairo. She asks, "How do I stop translating in my head when I speak English?"
Ooh, great question. I used to do this all the time. Jake, what's your secret?
The trick is to start thinking in images or feelings instead of your native language. For example, if you want to say apple, don't translate from your language. Picture an apple and say the English word. Practice with objects around you or simple sentences.
So basically, train your brain to link words directly to ideas, not translations. Like see a chair, think chair, not Scylla, then chair.
Exactly. It feels weird at first, but it works. Even labeling things in your house with sticky notes can help. Soon, your brain will skip the translation step.
Love that. So, Yasmin, start labeling your world and thinking in pictures.
Also, don't stress about mistakes. Native speakers make them too. Speaking of which, it's time for our language fail of the week.
Oh, I've got a good one. Once, I tried to compliment my British friend's cooking and said, "This tastes awful," instead of awesome. She laughed so hard she nearly dropped her fork.
Classic. I once tried to say, "I'm excited," but accidentally said, "I'm exited," and my friend thought I was leaving the party.
That's hilarious. English is full of trapdoors. Listeners, if you have a funny language fail, send it in. We'll read our favorites on the show.
Absolutely. Now, let's wrap up with some key takeaways, English hacks you can start using today.
First, focus on core vocabulary and don't stress about fancy words.
Second, collect and use chunks or set phrases to sound more natural.
Third, listen and mimic real pronunciation. Don't trust English spelling.
Fourth, keep grammar simple. Use present and past tenses and don't be afraid of fillers.
Fifth, master small talk with open questions and weather chat. When in doubt, talk about the clouds.
And finally, train your brain to think in English. Use images, not translations.
We hope you found these hacks helpful. If you did, share this episode with a friend who's learning English or anyone who loves a good language fail.
Don't forget to follow, subscribe, and leave us a review. Your support helps us bring more insider tips your way.
Thanks for hanging out with us today. Remember, learning English doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be fun.
Catch you next time on The Fluent Few. Keep speaking, keep laughing, and keep hacking your way to fluency.